Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu. MQ Abiola.
Good morning.
Always looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes. Ruben, I don't want to give you a lecture on how to eat cheap jollof rice. But the secret, just plant some tomatoes in your backyard.
Yeah.
Plant some tatache and atarodo, all the different types of pepper in your backyard. Then use locally made tomato paste. You'll be very close to eating cheap jollof rice.
Will it taste the same?
It will. Just use abakaliki rice.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it brings out the...
You are recommending concussion.
Local content.
No, it's not concussion.
No, local content.
No, it's called concussion.
And
No,
you will
that's not
still
concussion.
eat the good jollof rice. Ruben, don't
Talk about
But if you prepare jollof rice that way, then it means we won't be able to compete with Ghana and Senegal.
Don't let your heart
The Ghanaians just won the world prize for jollof rice.
Ruben, don't let your heart be troubled over jollof rice. Let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Yes, the lead story, Buhari, with advancement in technology, no one can claim millions of votes again. Urges Nigerians to resist agents bent on destabilizing this country. Meets with governors, ministers, others at Iftar. Insecurity worse now than in 2015, Diri declares. Terrorists kill 3 kidnapped victims in Kaduna, threaten to kill 22 others over 20 million naira ransom. 3 dead, 19 injured as explosion rocks Taraba cattle market. IG orders maximum security in schools, colleges across Nigeria. Now, the Daily Independent is also reporting the president, nobody will be given room to destabilize Nigeria. Buhari, IGP, moves to secure schools, deploys operational asset. Well, if the president's assurance is just all we need to ensure security, I will just sleep easy tonight. But we know that over and again, the president has given this kind of assurances as to security of the country. But again, repeatedly, we have security breaches all over. Kidnappings, killings, bombings, all over the place. So until we see concrete action that puts a halt to all these, and indeed, these terrorists don't find comfort in our forest, where they are living large on the sweat of innocent Nigerians. Poor Nigerians who are now forced to either look for 1 million, 2 million, or their relatives are killed, as we have seen in this case of these 3 abducted persons who have been killed, and the terrorists have called to ask their families to go and pick their bodies somewhere along the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. So, Mr. President, until all these are stopped, your assurances will not reassure Nigerians until these killings are stopped. Now, if we look at the Nation newspaper, battle for PDP ticket hots up as nomination closes today. Tambuwa submits form, says, I will unite Nigerians. Governor Wike, field me or we lose. Obi meets delegates. We will be fair to all. Ayu assures. That's Iyoshi Ayu, the chairman of the PDP, assuring all aspirants of level playing field. But the PDP is here to make a statement on its zoning. Is it open to all comers? Well, 2 days. No, by tomorrow, the PDP promised to make a pronouncement on its position on zoning. I hope they will not kick the can down the road so that or will continue to struggle. But again, the body language of most PDP bigwigs is that let's just feel anybody who can win the election for us, then we'll talk about zoning later. Now, the Vanguard newspaper, interim government, poll suspension more dangerous to Nigeria. Afenifere, Nwodo, Uzodinma, Middle Belt Forum, Pandev. Interim government call, sign of a failed state. Afenifere, Nigerians must not listen to Afe Babalola Okwesili Nwodo. It's a call for anarchy, Uzodinma, not tenable in a democracy. MBF, Babalola's position, a distraction. Pandev. Yes, I too believe that that call by Afe Babalola, legal luminary, is not a welcome one at this point in time. That will only put more confusion into the polity. When we have a constitution, who is going to declare that interim government? The president who has sworn to defend the constitution, or the National Assembly you expect to pass that kind of resolution? Well, I think that call is coming very late in the day. If Afe Babalola wants a restructuring of the country, it should call for that. If we have to rejig our constitution, the National Assembly should be doing that. But to just talk about an interim government, it gives Nigerians bad vibes. We remember the last interim government. It was a product of certain Ibrahim Babangida, who is still very much alive, when he tried to truncate, and he did, truncate democracy that was to be built on the June 12th election. So, interim government, a no, sir, Afe Babalola. Now, the Guardian newspaper, stakeholders canvass stronger recovery plans for IOC debts, the international oil companies. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, Nigeria can now produce SIM cards for Africa. Pantami, 6 reps support for enhanced tech-based startups. While the Daily Sun newspaper, Kuka adamant, Des Buhari challenges Lai Mohammed president's aide to open debate on achievement. Says, First Lady also faults government's policies. Nobody will be allowed to destabilize this country. Buhari, yes. Kuka was on this program yesterday, and he was literally shooting from the hips. And I hope somebody will take up his challenge. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, Hash 2022, pilgrims to pay more as Naira tumbles 150,000 visitors from Nigeria to Josu for 45,000 slots. States halt farm sales. Fares may hit 2.5 million Naira. We are awaiting Saudi authorities on guideline. Now, if we just look at the foreign newspapers quickly, the Times of London. Tory MP is told to block inquiry into Johnson. Prime Minister apologizes, but insists he did not mislead Commons over lockdown parties. Well, the Guardian newspaper of London, of UK, is reporting a man without shame. Prime Minister savage over parties. You don't need to guess who that is coming from. Sir Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, the leader of the opposition, is the one making that scathing statement concerning the behavior of Boris Johnson. And of course, tomorrow, Labour will table a motion to move for an investigation by the Privileges and Ethics Committee on the Prime Minister's behavior. While the Daily Telegraph is reporting Germany isolated as West sends heavy arms. Yes, Charles refused to join international coalition resupplying Ukraine forces to resist Russian offensive in Donbass. Ruben Rufai and Tundu.
Well, very quickly, I think, maybe what we need to focus on a little bit more is the reaction, or rather reactions, to the suggestion by Chief Afe Babalola, SAN, that the elections next year should be postponed. The danger in that proposal is that some people will say, where is this coming from? Chief Afe Babalola is an elder statesman who has distinguished himself in the areas of legal practice and also in the education system with what we have done with the Abuad University in the state. But some people have been saying that certain fifth columnists will not want the 2023 elections to hold so that we can have an elongation of tenure through the back door. Yeah, Chief Afe Babalola is talking from the point of view of having a new people's constitution and that the 1999 constitution is defective, right? But we've been on that matter even since 1999 itself.
Yeah.
Conference of Ethnic Nationalities in the lifetime of Chief Anthony Enahoro, Baba Abraham Adesanya, and others. Papa Ayo Adebanjo is still alive. Is part of that generation saying, look, you have to do something about this constitution. Chief Ishe Sage, Professor Ishe Sage, wrote a very famous article in which he pointed out all the flaws in that constitution. And we have had constitutional conferences under the Obasanjo government, 2000-2005, under the Jonathan government, 2014, and people have made copious recommendations as what is to be done. I don't think review of the Constitution should be used now as any excuse. And I hope that, the government of the day is not listening because it will amount to pure chaos, as some people have argued in the papers today.
Clearly.
Secondly, the 2014 National Conference, all those recommendations that were made, including the Okuta Reconciliation Committee and all other recommendations, were put together. But this administration refused to even take a look at the document. Okay? So then the Chief Afe Babalola is recommending that the people who should be part of that interim government should be former heads of state, former presidents, former... The same people who created the problem. They are the ones to come and solve the problem.
That suggestion is dead on.
So I think we have to debate the issue. The producer is already getting hypertensive, saying we don't have time. But these are issues we need to address. On the issue of having a unicameral legislature, yes, I agree with him. So that makes sense. On the issue of, representatives of the people collecting allowances rather than salary, I also agree with him. But to say that the 2023 elections will not hold, no. There's no such provision in the 1999 Constitution that you can just willfully, on the basis of constitutional amendment, suspend the election. It's not as if we have an emergency. It's not as if we're in a state of war. Stricto sensu, war, quack, war. So I agree with some of the people who have been debating, this issue. But Emmanuel Ifene, we never seem to have enough time to...
other issues will have taken up, but not
but it's okay. You are looking very good.
Thank you.